All right, everybody, before we get into the pod, I just want to give a quick shout out to Drew Dighton from Realty Connects Brokerage. If you're thinking about buying, selling, looking for a studio, anything to do with real estate, give Drew a text at 519-365-2309. He's a super easy guy to talk to, super down to earth. Um, yeah, you can also hit him up at his email here, drewdighton@gmail.com, and just tell him the podcast sent you. But without further ado, let's get into this video, guys. All right, everybody, welcome back to the New Generation Sobriety Podcast. Today we're joined with Bernie, Recovery 209. Is that your tag
Yeah.
on Instagram? And I'll link that here in the description, and I'll just throw it above my head right here. Today we're gonna dive a little bit into Bernie's story. We're just getting to know each other. First official conversation. We spoke on the phone a couple times, but we just talked a little bit off air. Seems like we got a lot in common, so I'm excited to get into this one. And before we get started, use code NewGen10 for 10% off at soberstrongapparel.com. And then also, Bernie's got that new hoodie on. I don't have that color yet, so that's the next one I'm picking up. Super great guy. Sober Strong is great quality. I love just repping sober merch, and even like I'm a Christian, so I love Christianity merch. I love like all that stuff. I feel like the people that are buying even my merch here, like they're not looking for new clothes. They're looking to support a message, right? They're looking to support the lifestyle. So, anyway, Sober Strong. But let's get into this episode. So,
Yeah, for sure, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. First and foremost, I want to thank my higher power, for allowing me to be an instrument today and come on your platform, bro, and share a little bit about my testimony. Um, Also, too, shout out to Sober Strong, man. It's definitely a unity, bro. You know,
brotherhood, man.
um, something to be a part of. A great message behind it, and to be real with you, bro, you reach out to any brothers or sisters in sober strong community, bro, and they get back to you.
Yeah, for
You know what
sure.
I mean? And definitely, I love being a part of something that to me it's like a brotherhood, right? And if I could, because it's a lifestyle, bro, I can't just be one thing on one day and then another on the other day. No, bro, I'm sober strong every single day. You know what
Full
I
time
mean?
job,
And
man.
I'm just trying to be the example for something that I stand on, So shout out to Silver Strong. Also too, bro, I have Recovery 209 as a promo code. Uh this one right here, bro. Hey, if you're gonna wear it, you can only wear it inside, man.
I know, man.
You can't wear it
He
out there.
so generous too. Like I forgot to add something to my cart. I just put a big order in last week, and I wanted this crew neck for my girlfriend, and she likes her stuff oversized. Like she likes it to be like big on her, and so I ordered a large. Or I asked him. I said, "Hey man, like how do I edit my cart? I want to add this large crew neck for my girlfriend. I forgot about it." And he's like, "Which one is it?" And I sent him a picture, and I was like, "Hey man, like how do I pay for it?" Like I knew he was gonna try and do something. So I was like, how do I edit my cart, or how do I like add this so I can pay for it? And it's like, no, I got you. And I'm like, no, like, how do I pay for this? And
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
no, man, like I got you,
I
dude.
got
And
you, bro. Don't even trip.
yeah, dude, like and like I opened that box, man, and like it was a long story about going across the border with it. I was so like. I gave her the receipt, but I forgot to tell her about it. I told her about the groceries and stuff that I had bought, but I forgot to mention the package. But I had given her the receipt because I planned on telling her. I just didn't get to it. And it was a
Yeah.
long story, but she ended up opening the box. So it was like the stuff was
She was
already
all
kind of
excited.
sorted through. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I waited till the last minute till I could fully be in the moment to open that box. And man, it was like, it's one of the gifts of sobriety. Like it's not about the materialistic part of things. It's more of just like that anticipation of like, I've been waiting on this. It's like you said, the brotherhood. And like, I finally got my hands on this bunch, like a lot more, like the hats, the t-shirts and stuff. Like before I just had one or two shirts. So it was like hard to kind of rep it all the time. But
Yeah.
like now, like I've got people asking me like, hey, can you order this for me? Can you order this for me? I'll give you money. And it's like, just because I wore this hat to a meeting, or I wore the sweater, or, and like you said, it's a good message. And I love that he puts some back into the recovery centers and stuff like that, like a portion of every sale. I like that. Um, yeah, it's just a good cause, and like I said, it feels good to be a part of something. Like you touched on that, so
Yeah, definitely, bro. One more thing I want to add on to that, bro, because hey, same thing out here. It's crazy, bro, because everywhere you go, bro. Like for me, I try to wear it as much as possible, right? Because sometimes I don't always do laundry, right? But hey, even when you wash it, bro, it doesn't shrink.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I
Or,
noticed
or,
that
or like the quality is just good, but everybody's constantly always asking, like, oh, bro, what's up with this? What's up with that? With a sweater or a shirt or whatever it is, and it's like, bro, that's what it's about.
for sure, dude.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so
Sure,
shout out to Sober Strong, man. I
100%.
appreciate them over there.
But yeah, let's get into this episode, guys.
Let's do it, man.
So first question I've got for you. Well, actually, this is how I kind of started every episode. Do you want to just tell everybody a little bit about you, for those who
Yeah, for
don't
sure,
follow
man.
your page?
My name's Bernardo Hernandez. I do have a sober date, September 16th, um, 2022. So I have 3 years, a month, and some change. So for me, man, I suffer from something called abandonment issues, pain, emotions, At a very young age, man, I got abandoned, right? I grew up with my grandparents, and at a young age, man, I thought my grandparents were my mom and my dad, And come to realize, bro, they weren't, And when my mom showed up, man, she showed up for a very short amount of time, and then she left,
Can you
And
tell us? You want to tell us a little bit about that, or like what was going on there? Was it mom and dad fighting? Was there addiction involved? Do you mind touching a little bit about on that?
yeah, for sure. Um, my mom, she's one of us, right?
Alcoholic,
She's a
whatever,
little
same
bit of
thing.
both, right?
Yeah,
To me,
they go hand in hand, man. And
I
addicts
think
and addictions and
addiction is addiction. Addiction is addiction. So she battled with her own demons, and we got taken by CPS, right?
how old were you? How old were you, if you don't mind me asking?
So when I got taken away, bro, I was about like 10, 11 months old, but I had a different dad. So I was able to go with my dad's mom and dad. You
So
know
your
what I mean?
grandparents that you're
And
mentioning, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Um
So from
so
like a
growing
very young age, like from before you were like a year old, you lived with your grandparents.
Oh yeah, for sure, And I was raised by at that young age I was raised by my dad's sisters, just the family in the household. And then so then my mom shows up one day and she to visit, right? Well, to visit me, and at 4 or 5 years old, I realized like, okay, this is my mom, So I'm very confused, but at the same time, man, I'm so happy to actually see this woman and be around this woman. But then she leaves, bro.
Okay, sorry, just go back for 1 second. Sometimes things slip through my head. So just how old were you at this point when she came?
I was like 4 or 5.
Okay, so you now do you remember all of this like earlier? Okay, because like personally, I don't know whether it's the substance abuse or what it was, but for some reason I don't remember. Like I remember the color of the carpet of my old house, and that's about it. Like I don't remember much.
So I consciously remember that moment.
Yeah, so you just remember the parts of it, right?
Yeah, for all I remember, bro, is that prior before that, like my mom was battling with what she was battling, and she was like always kind of like in and out of my life.
But you didn't
Like,
know she was your mother. You didn't know she was your mother, or you did at the time when she was
no,
in.
I just knew like what was going on. Like this lady is coming and
Keeps leaving, but you
trying.
don't know much, right?
I don't know much, bro. Until
Because even if they told you at that age, you're too young to even comprehend what's happening, right?
well, bro, like just at that age, man, to be able to how do you say it, take in that. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
I I'm I'm thinking my grandma and my grandpa is like my mom and my dad, And I remember, bro, like she shows up, right? She shows up and she comes on a bus, and
Tell me where you
she's
were living
inside.
at the time.
Where was I living?
Yeah.
I was living on a ranch, bro.
In what state? Like in the state?
So I'm from Gustin, California.
I'm
Small town, bro. Small town. Population of maybe 4 to 5 thousand people at that time. My family is well known. You know, um, so she shows up, bro, and my grandma, tells me, your mom's here to see you.
Like just straight up, like no, hey, this is your mother. Like it was just, hey, your
Nah,
mom's here,
like your mom's here, bro.
and
I'm
you're
like,
like,
what? Your
oh,
mom's here.
yeah,
So
sorry to
I,
interrupt.
so I'm excited, bro. I'm excited to see my mom, but you see, at that time, my mom's trying to get her life together, so she only has a certain amount of time to see me. So it was maybe like, I don't know, no more than an hour, bro. Maybe less than that, way less than that. And she leaves. She has to leave, right? At that time, because I'm so young, I'm thinking in my mind, bro. Well, if you're my mom, why are you leaving? Like, mom, where are you going? And she's like, mijo, I have to go back to, and I think at that time she was in a program.
Are you? So if you don't mind me asking, are you Hispanic?
Yeah, I'm Hispanic, bro.
Like Latino,
I'm
like
Mexican American.
Mexican American? Cool. Continue.
Yeah, so so that's another thing too, bro. Growing up in my grandparents' household, they show that tough love.
Yeah, for sure.
My grandpa's from Mexico. My grandma's from Spain. So when my grandpa came here, he's trying to maintain a household. You know what I mean? And I'll get into that. So my mom leaves, and right there I'm confused. Like, why is my mom leaving? If this woman loves me, then why leave me? And whatever, right? Whatever. Because at that age, like, you'll cry for a little bit, and the way my grandparents showed, I want to say, like, love or sympathy or something like that, is, all right, mijo, here's a toy, or mijo, here's this, so you can stop crying. You get what I'm saying? So, anyways, that went on, bro. That went on, and that was the first time I had a resentment. Now I could say all this stuff. So I want to say right now, bro, like, thank you to the 12-step program, because I was able to forgive. I love my mom today. I love my dad today. You know what I mean? But this is my story, and this is how it went.
Are they still in your life today? If you
My
don't
dad
mind
is
asking.
in my life. My mom is in my life, bro. But my mom's still out there. You know?
You're in my prayers, bro.
Yeah. So yeah. So I start going to school, bro. I start going to school, and remember, I told you I have a resentment.
And
So
you knew
I
this at
start.
this time. Like you're like, I'm angry with these people.
I'm angry. I'm angry. So I start going to school, and I start seeing kids with their parents, and I don't like those people. I don't like those kids, bro.
They have
Why? Because
something you
I'm
don't have.
different, huh?
They have something that you didn't have, or you kind of that you were maybe not sort of. I don't want to say jealous, but you kind of wanted, or that they
Yeah,
had. Say their parents were together, or they had siblings that they came to school with, or this. Or, did you have siblings, or?
yeah. I had siblings, but we're separated.
Yeah, okay. So, like I said, like maybe they had like that family bond or this or something that you didn't have, right? So
Yeah,
you're angry with them because you're young.
I'm
You don't know how
I'm
to deal
hot,
with
bro.
that, right?
I'm angry. I don't
I've
like
been
those
there, man.
kids.
The kids that when I was younger, dude, the kids that had the best, like when I was a hockey player, and for me,
Mm,
I always remember if that usually the more expensive the kid's hockey stick was, or the skates, or his gear, like if his parents were like super rich, he like it just so happened to be that he was usually like the all star of the team. But like, um, I had this twisted view of things that like okay, like more money that the stick costs, the better, like the cooler you are, or the better you are, right? Like,
mm-hmm.
and I just had this like this twisted, like they had something I wanted and I didn't have that, so I was angry with them, right? Like I
Yeah,
didn't make sense.
yeah. Hey, and if you realize now, bro, the program was already working in my life. You know what I mean? Because I want what you got. You know what I mean? So I'm going to school, bro, and I'm seeing these kids. I'm seeing their parents pick them up from school. I'm seeing them going to their sports, their academics, all this stuff, bro. And I'm sitting there and I'm just mad, bro. So I'm already getting full of anger. I'm already acting out in ways, bro, where at that age I'm fighting. I'm being disruptive. I'm being told I have ADHD. He can't sit down. He always wants to, disrupt the class and this and that.
Dude, you're telling my story.
Yeah, and
Not
it's
not the
like,
part about like the being split from my parents and stuff, but the whole in school part. Yeah, that is my story, man. Like too loud, jumping off the walls. This kid needs to calm down. They sent me to resource room all the time. I don't know what it's called in the States, but like the special room where people with like disabilities and whatnot go. Like
mhm.
I was on all the sports teams, like hanging out with the guys getting 90s, right? And I'm like, I appear as completely like the average male, like nothing, no disability visible, right? Like I talk normal, I read pretty normal somewhat, but they like I had a hard time with communication and their solution was to send me to the resource room and like pretty much like center me out and be like this guy can't
Yeah,
go this
man.
like everybody would get the note on their desk like and it was typically this is not judging or this might come out wrong, but it was typically the kids with like actual like learning disabilities that like could not read like that's to the level that they're supposed to be at or like like they were just had a hard time learning, they learned differently than everybody else did, right? But
Right,
then it was me, I'd get that desk or I'd get that note too, like the guy that's on the basketball team and the volleyball team, and it's like nobody else is getting that note, none of my friends that I hung out with got that note, and it was like from a young age I was like very, I don't know. I'll just say the school system I've now realized is not designed for anybody with ADHD. Not really designed for us to
well,
begin
I
with.
think I think me, bro. Now I could look back and say now, bro. It's like I had so much shit going on in my mind at a very young age, bro. Like I was just looking for something to escape, and because I wasn't comfortable in my own skin at that age, bro. Like I
For
wasn't,
sure.
you know. If we're all supposed to be, the same or whatever, then why don't I have my mom and dad? Like, why do I have to go home and and I'm very grateful for my grandparents because they did a hell of a job, but like go home and have to feel like this.
Yeah.
And it sucks, bro, because the school system, and this is just me, man, is like I was never able like to be able to be vulnerable about what's going on. The way I was being vulnerable, the way I was asking for help, bro, is by only what I know, and that's acting out, you know? And
Can I
the
ask you a
reason
question?
why I was acting out, Logan, I'll tell you right now, bro, is because if I act out enough, maybe my mom will show up. Maybe my dad will show up.
Maybe they'll hear me, right? Maybe they'll finally
Right.
hear me. Maybe she'll come back if I raise hell enough hell, right? Like or
Because that's my mom, or that's my dad, right? And that never happened, bro. But so, a little bit. So I started playing sports. And that's the thing, bro, is when you're going through that mental state of mind, bro. I'm looking for an outlet, right? I'm looking for an outlet, and I felt like sports was my outlet, because when I'm in sports, bro, the whole world shuts off.
you look like a
I could
baseball player, I think. No?
me
What was your sport?
baseball,
Baseball?
basketball, football.
I just kind of I don't know if that's like has nothing to do with you being Hispanic. I kind of looked at your hat. That's that a baseball team?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I just you gave me like the vibe of like you played baseball. I don't know why.
yeah. Now over here is mainly like three sports, bro: baseball, basketball, and football.
Yeah.
And it's a small town, so like the way to get out of this town then was either you're gonna be really good at sports, or you're gonna work at the cheese factory down the street, or you're just gonna stay here for the rest.
Yeah.
And
So can I ask you something? Like
yeah, go ahead.
one sec, how do I word this? Like so you kind of hear what I'm saying when I say like I kind of fit in with, I don't know if I've said this in an episode yet, but I've said this around the tables many times at AA, but like I could fit in anywhere, Bernie. Like I could fit in the smoke pit. I could fit in with the guys on the AAA hockey team. I also fit in with the guys that were getting 98 average, but then I also fit in again with the guys that were taking bong tokes at lunch and fighting and doing all this sketchy stuff. I could fit in where I needed to fit in, but
You're a
like,
chameleonaire, bro.
yeah, man.
You know what
It
I
was
mean?
like I was I was always where I needed to be, but I was never fully accepted, you know? Like I don't know. This just came to me the other day,
You're a
but
follower.
yeah, I was for
I'm
a
a follower, bro.
long time.
I just want to be a part of. I want to be a part of something because my mind tells me that I'm different. So let me go with these kids. Let me go with these kids and let me try to act like them or be like them. But deep down inside, bro, like I still don't have a mom and I still don't have a dad. But what I would gravitate to, bro, and it's crazy because the kids that would come into school and um, they would be like the outcast kids, I would gravitate to them, bro. I want to be your friend. Hey, come with me. You know what I mean? We're together, because drugs and alcohol, bro, are everywhere too, right? They're everywhere. But so is pain. You see, at a very young age, bro, I already knew what pain was. I just couldn't tell you. You know what I mean? I couldn't tell you it, but I felt it. I felt it when someone was, I don't know, I just felt it when someone was going through some pain or some trauma or whatever it is. And I would be around those people, And so I started playing sports, bro, at a very young age. And I was very good, bro. I was very good at baseball. I was very good at football. I was very good at basketball. But you put me in the classroom and I wasn't good. So my grandparents, my grandma, because my
You said
grandpa,
you
he
have
worked
ADHD, right? Sorry to interrupt. You said you have ADHD,
ADHD.
right?
Yeah, so
Did you
so
have
they're
this
trying
like
to.
did you have this weird characteristic where you could I don't know if it's just me, but I've always wanted to ask people because when people say they have ADHD, I always want to ask, could you remember like every song in your playlist word for word, but then when you try to remember study notes or something, you can't remember nothing?
Oh, definitely.
Bro, like I remember having a playlist with like about like over 5,000 songs in it, and you could hit shuffle and I would be able to sing the song word for word.
Mhm.
And but you try and tell me the formula for like a triangle or something, like I don't remember it.
I don't know it. You know what I mean? Because it's like selective. You know what I mean? If you know anybody that has ADHD, they're either they're a tradesman.
It's me,
You
bro.
get
I'm
those
I'm a
guys out in a
carpenter.
trade, bro, and it's like second nature to them, bro. They become super good at what they do because they're focused. It cuts out the outside noise. You know what I mean? Well, at least for
Yep.
me.
It's kind of weird how you can. Sorry, I'll let you get back to it. But it's
Now
kind
go
of weird
ahead.
how you can like get an ADHD person to like you can. This is a bad example, but they'll sit down and grind like the hardest mission on a video game for 8 hours straight. They'll just keep playing it over until they get it right, and
Hmm.
then. But you tell them, you try and give them a task that they're not interested in, like cutting the grass or like say practicing writing when you're younger, like the 5 minutes of writing, it's like that's the most impossible task in the world because you have like you're not like you said, it's selective. I don't know what
Hmm.
I've always had that trait. Like it was like I could really excel in things that I was interested in. And if I wanted to, I could like be up here with it, but if it was something that like, for example, Shakespeare or history, like I would look her right in the eye the whole time, pay attention, put my phone on mute, put it in my bag, pay attention the whole time, like stare at her, not break eye contact, and I still don't hear a word she says by the end. I forget it all. Like,
Yeah, bro. It's like I got a boy, bro. He don't need blueprints, bro. You tell him what you need. He's a welder, right? You
how old
tell
is
him
he?
what you need, how you want it, and he'll look at it, bro, and he already has it in his mind.
How old is he?
My boy,
Yeah.
he's not my son.
Oh, you're talking about your boy. Okay.
One of my boys. You know
When
what I
people
mean?
say your boy, I'm not used to that
Yeah.
lingo, man.
Not my son, man. No. Hey, my son's really good at puzzles though. But so yeah, hey, you tell my boy, hey, bro, I need this build, this layout, whatever. And but if you give him the blueprints, it'll probably confuse the f out of his mind.
Hmm.
So he's more like, dude, let me just do it. And at a young age, bro, him too, he would. They try to get him with ADHD too, But that's just what I realize now. Like we're very selective on what we want to put our energy and our attention into.
One more
You
quick
know.
example is like say you're doing a math question and they say, you know how underneath the question usually says like show your work and it's underlined?
Hmm.
Like I can figure the question out in my head, but then the second I gotta like show you the steps, it's like I get all tripped up, dude, and it's like I panic and I cannot put it on the paper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do not know
Like
what is
sometimes,
it.
bro, I think I'm dyslexic too.
I think I have a I don't know if this is possible, but I think I have a little bit of not when it comes to writing, but like hearing and like thinking of letter of and numbers, like getting them mixed up. Like when I'll be typing something, dude, and then I'll get distracted for 1 second. I'll look to my left and I'll think of a bird, and I'll be like writing a sentence that's about food, and then I'll write Mockingjay or like I'll just start writing bird or something. Like it's weird, dude. I have this like intrusive, or someone will tell me a number, and I'll
Uh,
remember the exact number, but I'll remember it backwards or something. Like like I have this like I get things mixed up. I don't know if that's dyslexia, but or maybe a little bit of it. I don't
a
know.
little bit. I just because I read things like what I want to read, or I'll read it backward. I don't know, bro. Like I see numbers sometimes and I get them mixed up. Like
Sometimes I
it's
just see
crazy.
I see like the first, middle, and last letter of of a word, and I just I keep scanning, and I just go past it. And if I see the first letter, the middle letter, and the end, typically I have an idea of what it says, and I can just keep going.
And you already want to play it out in your mind, like, oh, I
Yeah.
don't need to read that. I got it.
No, yeah,
Yep.
I
Yeah.
know what it's gonna say. Like I finish people's sentences for them in my head so often, but I cannot jump in and be like, I used to jump in and be like, I'd finish it for them, and they'd be like, "Yeah, that's what I was gonna say." But now I just sit back and let them say their piece, and in my head, I'm like, I just smile and nod my head because I knew exactly what they're gonna say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know. Anyways, sorry to interrupt. I just want to throw that in
Hey,
there.
it's all good, bro. I love this. I love this right here. So yeah, bro, I get into sports and I'm become very good
So at this
athlete.
age, if you don't mind me asking, what did a typical day look for you? Like, you go wake up, go to school, then practice, then back
So
to
I
career.
wake up, bro. I go to school. I lived on a ranch, so the bus would come at like 5:30.
Damn,
You
school
know,
started at 7 or 8.
yeah, I start school at 7:15. At that probably at that age,
This is
seven
high school or
fifteen.
this is middle or this is elementary school, right?
This
Or
is elementary school. Yeah, so I start school 7:15, 8 o'clock. I go to school, do what I do in school, and at that time, bro, I'm getting in a lot of fights at school.
now, tell us a little bit about that. Was it like, how did these play out? Because like I got in fights too. I took my anger out on, but I was like, there's only once or twice where I got a phone call home because like I was good with words. I was good with like getting myself out of things. But yeah, there's once or twice I got a call home. Like, what did they look like in your situation? Because for me, it was often like but he's picking on my friend with hearing aids, so I beat the brakes off him or something. Like, like or he's like throwing rocks at my buddy that so happens to be gay or something, and he's making fun of him. And buddy
Uh,
like secretly wants to kill himself. So I'm like, I gotta go show this kid like what he's doing is wrong. Like I gotta take this into my hands, bro. Like that was what it was from my experience. But what did it look like for you? Because you said you had this anger deep down. Did you just kind of lash out and or was it you don't have to share if you don't want to, but was it kind of like, did it come out in the form of bullying or like, how did it kind of come out in your shoes?
well, at that age, man, they would consider me the bully, right?
Yeah, for sure. And
But in
dude, I
reality,
was
bro, they
considered
don't know.
bully too, man. It sucks to say, but sometimes here and there, I was not the nicest guy, man.
But they didn't know like the backstories of everything, right?
For sure. And that was my next question. Was this all known that you were in the, like living with grandma and grandpa, like you didn't have mom and dad in the picture? Was that like a known thing or was it all kept internal?
Yeah, bro, it was known. Like I said,
Not
this
that
is a
it
small
matters. It's
town.
just, I'm curious.
Yeah, no, like this is a small town, so like everybody kind of knows everything that's going on. You know, when we got picked up by CPS, when one of my brothers, dude, because my brothers and sisters got picked up, I think twice,
And
but they got
how
picked
did
up
that
at the
play
local
out?
park.
Okay.
At the local park, bro.
They just showed up and said, "You're coming with us."
Yeah, and at that time,
You're with mom at the time and
we
dad?
all kind
Or
of went. I was already with my grandma.
okay, and they came and take you from your grandma, okay.
Yeah, because my mom tried to always get her life back together.
And then say,
So
"Oh, I
she would
want
get
my
her
kids back?"
life. Yeah, get the kids, blah blah, whatever, and so everybody kind of knew everything in the town. And, my I'll tell you a little bit later on, or actually I can tell you right now. So with my dad, bro, people used to always tell me like, oh, like who's who's his dad, or and they'd be like Danny. His name's Danny, right? and oh yeah, and oh that guy used to be a fighter, that guy used to be getting all the
Yeah.
girls, that guy used
Yeah.
to do this, that, and the third. And when I would hear that stuff, bro, I want to be like my dad.
Yeah. Because you have the wrong, like, if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't have the right perception of things. Like you think it's kind of a good thing, right?
Everything is perception, bro.
Yeah, it is. I've learned
At
that the
that
hard
young age,
way.
I don't even know what that is, but
No.
now I can say everything is. So I get that, okay, because every young kid wants to be like their dad, bro. You know. So I hear that stuff, and okay, well, I want to be like my dad, right? So I got to start doing what my dad does. I'm already hurt. My dad's not here physically, but I'm hearing other people talk about him. So let me be like him. Let me, and that goes back to the fighting, right? At a very young age, bro, it's like this fighting, they think it's bullying, they think it's that. But a lot of the times, bro, I'm protecting other kids. A lot of other times, kids will come up to me and be like, hey, Junior, so and so's picking on me because I'm ready.
One sec, bro. Someone just came in the door. I don't want. I just hold that thought, okay?
I think your
I'll
thing,
cut
yeah.
this out.
All right. Hey, shout out to Silver Strong because right now they got a great deal going on. If you go on there and you make a purchase of over $100 on the comment section, you're allowed to put your home group, a recovery center, and nominate them to get fully fitted after December 15th with Sober Strong Apparel, man. So go check them out, man, at soberstrongapparel.com, man. And shout out to Logan, man. New generation sobriety. I appreciate this guy.
Girlfriend showed up. I didn't realize she was coming.
Logan's in trouble. But hey, that's a bad dog.
Yeah, she's cute, man. About 4 months now.
Hey, she's thick too. Hey, I'm trying to get a English bulldog, bro. But
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll go give her to my girlfriend, then we'll get back to it.
sounds.
We talk a lot about community here on this podcast, and that's exactly what Drew Dighton's all about. He's a local guy helping people find their dream homes. Whether you're ready to move or just curious what your place might be worth, shoot Drew a text, 519-365-2309, or email drewdighton@gmail.com. He's always down to chat. But yeah, let's get back to the episode, guys.
Good.
Sorry, where were you? I apologize, man.
No, so, yeah. So I'm fighting and I'm doing this stuff right in at elementary school and because I was that kid, bro, where I was very well known. So when there would be altercations, whether it's with another student or whatever it was, bro, like they're coming to me, and I was a hothead, bro, at a very young age. Why? I was just full of anger, bro. I didn't care. So, like I said, bro, anything that I do to try to get my mom or my dad to show up, bro, I'm gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in reality, let me tell you something right here, Logan. You know who was going through the worst of it all, bro? Is my grandparents.
And I
You
bet
know?
you didn't even that thought didn't even go through your head one time until you got
Nah.
sober, probably, right?
Yeah. You know? Because my grandma has to show up, and pick me up from school because I just got in a fight with some kid, and the cops are there, bro. At a young age, bro, the cops are coming to school because it's constantly happening, bro. You know,
Would they arrest you at this age or no? Like, were you in
nah,
juvenile?
they ain't arresting you, but they're gonna sit down and they're gonna talk to you, and they're gonna sit down and try to give you that scared conversation. But bro, I don't care.
Yeah. Like I had that too in elementary school. I had those in Canada here we call them youth officers or something. I forget what they call them, but it's like a officer that is his job is to go to schools and talk to misbehaving children. Like I remember I dealt with all that too, brother. I was in those shoes as well.
And during that time, bro, I can reflect back to there was teachers, even the principal. His name is Mr. Antrockley, man. Shout out to him. You know, if you take out like they knew about the trauma, bro. There's just some people there, bro, that like I feel like I can say now that God has put into my life, even at a young age, bro. Always been working in my life. I just wasn't aware of it.
And that's one of my favorite gifts of sobriety is to look back now and like look at the times when I was struggling the most, or in my some of my darkest moments that I remember, because I was a blackout drinker. I don't remember a lot of things, but
Mm,
like the things that I do remember, it's really awesome now that I'm sober to look back and be like, still like that light bulb still goes off. Like it's like, hey, like, oh my gosh, that's where he was working in my life, or like you said earlier, like that's where the 12 steps were like already kind of happening in my life. Like I wanted what he had, or like, like seeing how your addict tendencies were like present as a kid, or like even not with drugs and alcohol, but like just the way you were thinking, like
yeah,
you kind of uncover these things as you get, like the longer you're sober, the more that light bulb dings, man, and it's such a gift. I'll be grateful for it, and like I
it
hold on
is.
to it. It's one of the things that keeps me sober, man. I look back and I'm like really, I
Yeah,
thought that was okay to do. Like how did I even? Why did that even cross my mind to think that was okay to do? And I was doing it daily, right? Like yeah,
yeah, bro. It's one of those things where it's like, going back. I think it's super important, man, to have your father or your mother in the household, man, like, or just in the children's life, and I struggled with that, bro, but I could reflect and I can say now, because even though I went through what I went through, bro, like God still had his hand on me, so that's why, like, today, the way I talk about what I go through, bro, is it because it's that pain, bro. I live that. You know what I mean? I really live that, and no one can say anything else, bro. Like, when you tell me your story, man, like, I sit there and I listen because I was taught today to listen. You know what I mean? Because Bernie doesn't know everything, bro. If Bernie knew everything, Bernie wouldn't have been where he was at. You get what I'm saying?
yep,
And so I really, in my mind, bro, I was really in hell. Like, I didn't want to be here, Logan. I didn't,
yeah.
bro. And
I can relate, man. If you don't mind me jumping in, I had
oh
I had loving parents. I had a roof over my head, a pretty nice one. I had, pretty every year we went or not Christmas shopping, sorry. We went back to school shopping. We got like a new backpack and lunch pail and stuff. Like not we weren't like the rich, but we had nice things. Like I played whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? And I had a good
yeah,
life, but I wanted to die and I didn't know why. I was like, "How? Like, this is not something's not right. Like, it's got to be. I've got to be the issue if I have the girlfriend, the license, the travel sports, the friends, the loving parents, the job. Like I have it all laid out in front of me to just pick a route to go, and I just want to go straight downhill for some reason. You know?
yeah, yeah. I get that, bro. I get that. And later, well, I'll tell you right now, bro. Like, what I realized today, and this is later on in my story, but I wanted. Okay, like, I tell you this, bro. What I realize now is, like, I didn't want to die, but something inside of me wanted to die. You know what I mean? Because I didn't have the balls to f myself.
We don't want to
You
kill
know?
ourselves. We want to kill what's inside of us,
Yeah, you know what I mean? Something inside of me wanted to die, bro.
and it
And
had to be killed, right?
right, you know? And it had to. So okay, so then, my acting out continues, bro, and into, middle school and stuff like that, and I'm still actively in sports, but I'm struggling with playing school academics because I always tend to get in fights, or I always tend to act out or not be able to do my work, and but we have city ball, we have city sports, and my grandma, she just wanted to keep me active, bro. Like, maybe now, deep down inside, bro, like, I knew my grandma knew what I was going through, but like I said, bro, she could only give me what she could give me at that time. The same thing with my mom, bro, like, or my dad. I realized today, bro, like, it's different timings. They're young parents, they're battling their own demons. Like, I can't hold on to that shit no more, Logan. So I'm
Very
saying,
well.
like, today I realized that.
Yeah.
At that time, bro, it's like,
It's important to know too, it takes a lot of hard work to get to this point to realize.
yeah, and so whatever, I'm playing sports, but Okay, now at this time, bro, like my grandparents, they don't want me taking the bus no more and stuff like that. So I moved to the town, which is only like 2 miles away from the ranch. But I moved to town, bro. So now I'm able to be in the neighborhood.
And you're
Now I'm
like
able to.
14, 15.
I'm in middle school. What? How old are you at sixth grade?
So in Canada, like where I'm from, we have like kindergarten, like junior kindergarten is where you start. Then you stay in the same school typically, like most for the most part. Like I went to a Catholic school, so this is how it was. It was like you go from junior kindergarten to grade like junior kindergarten, senior kindergarten, grade 1, 2 to eight, all the way up to 8, and then you graduate from grade 8 and go into high school, which is grade 9 to 12, and then you graduate from there and go to college, university, or trade
Yeah.
wherever you're going.
So I don't know. I was probably like 10,
You're 10
12.
at this point. Okay, so drugs
Between
and
10 and
alcohol aren't
12.
really in
I
the
don't know,
picture
somewhere
yet,
around
or
there.
no?
Huh?
So for you, like drugs and alcohol aren't really in the picture yet, then.
Nah, middle school. So I get into middle
Okay.
school, bro.
Okay.
But I'm at that young age where I'm sitting around and I'm still. My grandma used to smoke cigarettes, so
Hmm.
I'm stealing her cigarette butts and I'm smoking them and whatever, right? Trying to be cool. But I get into middle school, man, and so we moved to town, and now I can start being around the neighborhood kids. Now I can start, interacting and having friends and going to their house and all this stuff, bro. And
Sorry if
so
I said it,
I
but where did you move to? Did you move in with a friend, or like did
no,
you
no, my grandparents.
they moved with you?
Yeah, we moved
Okay.
to
Like you sold the
town.
ranch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we went to town because my grandpa wanted me to like be closer to people and friends and this and that because I'm on a ranch, but I'm on a ranch by myself.
Yeah.
And he knew too, he wanted the best for me too, but my grandpa was very tough love, bro. Whatever happens in the house stays in the house. Whatever happens outside the house stays outside the house.
Yeah.
So
So I have an old school way of thinking.
yeah, bro, and that's why I'll tell I'll continue is that, bro. Whenever I had any problems or issues or anything like that, my grandma would buy me a toy. My grandma would take me to McDonald's. My grandma would do this, that, or the third because she didn't really know how to show that emotional love, that emotional support.
Yep.
So at a young age, bro, like I don't have that comfort. I don't have that. In a sense, bro, I can say it now. It's kind of bought love.
Yeah.
But that's all they knew. That's all they knew, and that's what happened. So I get to town, bro. So I grew up, and then I started like being around other kids, and there was this family, bro, where their mom and their dad kind of like took me under their wing. Took me under their wing, and I would go to their house on a day-to-day basis, bro. Um, I would eat dinner there. I would spend the night over there. I would do everything there, bro, because right there felt like a home, bro. I seen the mom. I wanted what they had,
You finally got that feeling you were chasing, right?
and they accepted me, bro. They accepted me. You know what I mean? And
I had that feeling with, I'm not gonna say any names. If they're listening, they know who they are. I've said
yeah,
to him specifically, but like I've sent the guy a text recently actually and said like, hey, like I can remember this point at a very young age that like I remember not feeling like I could be myself around really anybody. I always was trying to, like if I wanted to feel something or to be heard or seen, to feel something, I had to like think it up and act it out as I had seen it from others, or and
uh,
I was with this person in specific. That all went away. I was just myself. I could laugh, make jokes, say what I wanted to say, without thinking, and it was
yeah.
accepted. They were like, they treated me like I was one of their kids, like,
Hmm.
so I've been in that exact situation.
Yeah, bro, and I love that, bro. I love that I actually had that. You know what I mean? And I could realize, I could relate, I could reflect back now, bro. It's like I love that family so much. not just that family, bro, but from there on out, man, I gravitated to a lot of families like that, and in the Mexican culture, bro, like your friends that come to the house, bro, their families, their moms and their dads, they're gonna treat you like they're yours. And I'm sure that's in other cultures too, bro, or other, whatever. But like I seen that with my people. You
For
know what
sure,
I
dude.
mean?
I see it too. This was a situation I just mentioned is a different situation. This was like years before this. But like
Mm-hmm.
I got to high school, I had a similar situation like you're describing, where I felt accepted or these people took me under their wing. I was at their house. I remember one time like I was arguing with my girlfriend because I was seeing this guy like way more than I was seeing her. I was at his house like 10 days straight and we were like still going to school and working and like and I just wanted to throw in like this is one of my best friends to this day. My circle is very tight, and he just so happens to be Mexican. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's Colombian, Hispanic, whatever. Like he's that culture, Like
Yeah.
I can see how. I don't know. I see what you're saying, man. I
You
feel.
get what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah,
And so like that's because like what I see, you know what I mean, or what I at that time, bro. I'll be real with you. Like I was very selective too at a young age of who I hung out with. You know what I mean? Only because like if you like I was the type of kid, bro, where like we're living on the edge, bro. You know what I mean? So mind you, let's start there where so my mom finally gets her stuff together, right? And she gets a house in town too. So now my mom has the house, my sisters, my brothers, they're living with my mom, but I'm still living with my grandparents. But at my mom's house, bro, it was very dysfunctional. A lot of in and out, substances, partying, this, that, the third, whatever. So I would see that stuff and I'm prone to that. Like, I'm okay. If there's a celebration, a funeral, an argument, whatever it is, bro, they're always partying, they're always drinking, right? Cool. So what I do, bro, that's when I started smoking weed. And let me tell you, man, I only started smoking weed because the cool kids were smoking weed, and I wanted to be like them. I wanted to. I'm a chameleon, bro. You put me anywhere, I fit in. Believe me. And I started smoking, and I didn't really like it, bro, because it kind of made me like out of it. I already have ADHD, so I'm used to just being boom, 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 boom. And when I would smoke weed, bro, that thing would beat me down. And I didn't like that feeling. But then at that age, bro, I got in a very bad accident, uh, and where I broke one leg, I fractured the other, I dislocated my shoulder, and I have like this scar on my wrist. I don't know if you can't really see it, but I go to the hospital. I'm in a wheelchair, bro. And my grandparents don't have the funds. My grandparents don't have the time to take me to physical therapy. They don't have none of that stuff, man. You're gonna heal at home. But like I shared before, bro, like that's when I got introduced to Vicodin, and I was maybe like 13, 14 at this time. And so I heal at the house, bro, and right there I think my sports career, I think everything is just washed away, I'm never gonna heal from this shit. I don't know how to deal with none of this stuff. So I get healed up, and mind you, I'm going to school in a wheelchair, bro. I'm going to school in a wheelchair. I'm embarrassed, but I'm trying to still act like this tough guy that I'm really not, bro. But I have to paint this picture to the world that I'm this certain type of individual. I have to wear a mask, bro. And it's sad to say, bro, but um that's how my life was. Everything looked good on the outside, but deep down on the inside, bro, at that age I was broken. I was in pain. So I start hanging out with a different crowd, right? Start hanging out with a different crowd, and I remember being able to, go to like I don't know, you know what quinceañeras are, weddings and all that stuff. Well, you know what
yeah,
weddings are, but quinceañeras are like when someone turns 15 years old, right? They have a big party for them and stuff like that, and we would go to them, bro, and we would sneak alcohol and we would drink and this and that. But it would just be like little dibble and dabbling until this one time in my life, bro, and I can remember this because this is the time when the devil snatched me up. Even though the devil, I feel like, had me, but this is where he really snatched me up, bro, because I gave him the power. And I'll elaborate on that later on. But I was sitting in a backyard, bro. There was a death. One of our friends had passed away, and I was sitting in the backyard with a group of my friends, and we had a bottle of taco vodka, and we're going through that sadness, that grief. Like, damn, what's going on? And I take this sip, bro. I remember, like, I guzzled it, and you know when you get like that, the
Do you remember
hairs
what it
up
was?
on your
Sorry if you
huh?
said it. Do you remember what you were drinking?
Taco vodka.
Oh, that's what it was called. I've never heard of that.
You never heard of taco vodka? No.
Say it a little slower.
Triggers. Hey, it might be someone's trigger. Nah, I'm just kidding. I drink that stuff, bro, and it's like rubbing alcohol.
So it's vodka though.
Yeah, it's vodka.
Okay.
It's like the cheapest vodka you could get because we're youngsters, bro. You know what I mean? We're youngsters. You pay someone $3 at that time or $5, bro, and you go get a fifth. You know what I mean? So anyways, we had that, and I take that sip, bro, and I remember just feeling this hot sensation, bro. The hairs lift up off of my back, and I was like, bro, if I could feel like this forever, this is how I want to feel. Like everything was out. You know what I mean? I'm on top of the world. And I feel like right there, bro, is when the devil like really snatched me up and said, "All right, Bernie, you want to? Is this what you want? Right? Okay." So that thinky thinking, right, became a an every other weekend thing. I'm chasing that instant gratification now. You know, I'm no longer worried about playing sports. I'm no longer worried about what I need to be worried about because now at that age, I'm hanging out with a different crowd. I'm able to get alcohol. I'm able to go to these functions. I'm able to fight. I'm able to be this tough guy. I'm able to do all this stuff. I'm able to make a name for myself, bro.
You're finally
You
heard,
know,
and you felt like you were silenced your whole life, right? Or you felt like maybe you were,
different.
yeah, yeah, but you were finally a part of, like you felt like you were, you know.
Yeah,
I
because we're
feel
all
you,
doing
bro.
it.
I feel
We're
you.
all doing it, bro. You know what I mean? And my friends that took me in, accepted me for who I am, love me for who I am. We're doing it together, bro. You know, we're partying, we're drinking, we're going to these events, we're fighting, bro. Right? But at that time, I'm starting to get in trouble with the law, bro. I'm starting to get drunk in public, right? At a very young age, bro. Before I was uh, 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 18 years old, I already had a handful of drunk in Publix, bro. You know, but in middle school, going back to middle school, bro, that's how the cycle was, bro. You know, I got hooked. Well, I didn't get hooked, but I got introduced to Vicodin. Afterwards, I like the downer, right? I like the downer feeling, but I can't get those all the time. So I look at other things like, alcohol or this and that to cope with whatever I was coping with. But I'm going to get my hands on whatever it is to suppress my emotion, suppress, because now I know that there's a substance. Now I know there's a pill. Now I know that there's something that switches my mind to where I don't have to feel like that no more. You know what I mean? I just got to get my hands on it, you know? And so that's what I do, bro. I go into high school and I'm hanging out with an older crowd. You know what I mean? I'm constantly drinking. I'm constantly getting in trouble with the police, bro. But let me tell you something. Like at that age, bro, in high school, like everybody knows everybody, bro. So we are my group of people that I was hanging out with. We weren't a gang, bro, but we were a unity. We were a group of brothers that we're living on the edge, bro. Those are the kids over there that you don't want to hang out with. You know what I mean? So and
Sorry
we
to
run
jump
with
in.
it, bro.
I just want to jump in right here. We're just We just passed an hour. I'll let you finish up that thought, but do you want to do a part two? Like, are you free this week at some point? We could do a part two. Do like,
Yeah,
and I'll release like half one day and half the next day.
yeah, yeah,
Is you cool with that?
yeah.
All right, bro. Okay,
So
continue what
keep
you're
going.
saying though. Yeah, continue what you're saying.
Dang, hold on. Oh, there we go. So yeah, bro. So that's when you know, the law starts getting involved, and getting these drunk in public. I'm getting arrested, but they're all slaps on the hand. Why? Because the cops here, they know my family. You know what I mean? And get your grandson under control. You know what I mean? Get your grandson under control, and we won't have these problems, right? But I don't care, bro. I don't care at that point. I found a solution to my problems, and so I said, hey, so let me touch back to a couple things, bro. Is that there's a lot of things that played out in my life, right? Where I don't really speak on it, but only because there's other individuals or whatever. That's their business. You know what I mean? And but I can tell you, and their influence is what influenced me, because I had a lot of good people, bro, in my life who wanted to guide me and wanted to direct me into the right direction, but my flesh would reject it, bro. I mean, my spirit would reject it. You know what I mean? Because you're not my dad. You can't tell me what to do. You know what I mean? I can't have a man-to-man conversation with an individual, because it always tends to a physical conflict. That was my problem, bro. I love to fight. I love to hurt people because I'm hurt. Hurt people love to hurt people. And so I tend to live that lifestyle, bro. And I didn't, like I said, bro, I didn't want to join a gang. I didn't want to do none of that stuff, because I wasn't gonna let another man tell me what to do. You know what I mean? I was already stuck in my own ways. And the individuals that I was around, like, that was the brotherhood I wanted to be around. And I don't care whether we're doing bad or we're doing good. Like, we stuck together. And so I have a big well, actually, my grandpa passes away at 7 when I was 17 years old, bro. And at that time, man, I was already pretty deep in my addiction as far as drinking.
Can we dive like in this part two that we're gonna do? Can we dive a little bit more into that too?
Yeah.
Cool, dude. Cool.
What, into my drinking?
Yeah, and I also want to hear a little bit more about your involvement with sports and stuff, and how the drinking did it. It played into sports obviously too, right? Like the alcohol and drugs.
Yeah, so like the alcohol, bro, like it takes over your mind, bro, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So where like when I'm getting out of high school, or when I'm getting out of the end of my day, bro, like I don't want to go to sports no more.
Yeah,
I
you
want to
lose
go get a
interest, right?
tall, huh?
You lose interest in practice
Yeah, I want to go get a tall can. I want to go do what I do, and just chill with the guys, right?
for
And,
sure.
and skateboard, because that's what we used to do. We used to skateboard, right?
For sure.
And
Maybe we'll start with that on part two. What are you doing like Tuesday?
so I work nights, bro.
Okay, so you're free through like we're 3 hours difference time, so you're right
Yeah,
now it's what time is it? It's almost 3 o'clock here, so you're gonna be pushing 12 o'clock, right?
yeah. 11:46 right now. So yeah,
So yeah, what about like would you be able to do same time Tuesday?
at 10 in the morning.
Does that work for you or no? Or is that too early? Like what time do you wake up at?
So I get home. So I work nights, bro. So I go in at 10 o'clock at night, and I don't really have an end time. But I'm usually home before like 9 or 10.
And then you
What
sleep till
about
probably like
11 or 12 Tuesday?
your time, so that's 12. So
That's
that'd be 3
4 or
p.m. Tuesday.
5 your time. So let's say we do 11. Your time would be 12, 1, 2.
Two. So 2 p.m. Tuesday. Can I book that in right now before I let you go? Finish up what you were saying though. I want to hear that.
Uh,
You were just talking about how it takes over your mind and how you don't want to go to sports no more. You want to go get a tall boy and just do your thing, right? Like,
Yeah, so I want to go do. I don't want to go to sports, bro. I don't want to do what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't want to listen to my grandparents, bro. At that time, bro, I'm gambling because my grandparents caught me gambling at 13 years old, bro. Right here at the gym, in the back of the gym, bro, shooting dice. And so they told me, if you want to, gamble and you want to do that stuff, well then you make your own money. So at that time, bro, I'm gonna get money. You know what I mean? And so I'm already now it's already taking a big toll on my grandparents, bro, to where like they can't really tell me nothing no more.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm gonna do what I want to do. But something inside of me tells me that I know what I'm doing is wrong. You know, I don't know. And
I feel you,
so
bro. Like you had that conscious thought, but you
I
didn't.
always had that conscious thought. That's the crazy
Yeah,
part, bro. Is
I
like
feel you, man.
I always had that part, that conscious thought. I just I just knew that I thought I had time, bro. I always thought I had time.
I feel
You
you,
know,
man.
and
Did you get that notification?
oh, not yet.
Just let me know if you get it.
Let me tell you some. So let's keep going for like a couple more minutes,
Yeah,
right?
for sure, bro. For sure. I'll let you finish up. Don't worry, man.
Yeah. So the way the alcohol was working with my mind, bro, is I was starting to forget because I was drinking consistently every single day. That like the next day, say I had a baseball game to go to, or say I had a football game, bro, I would forget like my jersey. I would forget like my fucking cleats.
Been
I
there,
would,
bro. I get to a tournament 3, 4 hours away, and I don't have my skates.
yeah, and you're like, fuck, bro, like I should have remembered or whatever. But then it's just like the coaches are realizing like, bro, this guy's just not serious about playing sports. You see, you could be like very talented, bro, but the mindset of things is everything. Your character is everything, bro. You know, because if you're not on time, if you don't have integrity, if you don't have discipline, bro, your your skill drops so much, bro.
Yeah, man, for
You know?
sure.
And I didn't have none of that, bro. I didn't have any life skills. I didn't know how to be a young man. I didn't know how to be a man.
I feel you.
And
Yeah,
and it's like that's why I say, bro, now when I could reflect back to the 12-step program, like, bro, those are just life skills, you know? Those are just life skills. And now I can identify them to when I was a child, when they were really playing out in my life. You know,
I feel
I
you.
can identify them now, or I can identify now how much God was in my life. You know, I was with my grandparents, bro, because God placed me with my grandparents because maybe if I was with my mom full time, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. You know what I mean? I got a brother doing a hard time. You know what I mean? I got another brother who just got out, you know what I mean, a couple years ago, but all because of the same
Vicious
shit,
cycle.
bro. We dealt with pain, man. I could never be vulnerable to you, Logan. I can never sit down and tell you know what, Logan? I'm suffering from anxiety. I'm suffering from depression. I'm suffering from anger. I'm suffering from these emotions, bro. Why? Because if I tell you that, it's going to make me feel less of a man.
Make you weak.
That's not right, you know?
No, it's the opposite, man.
But hey, here's a beer, here's a pill, here's a line, here's this and that, and I'll take care of it, bro.
For sure, dude.
But why can't we sit down and have that man to man conversation? I couldn't do that. So, you know, the story keeps going, bro. Like, but what I want to say, bro, is that I wish someone would have told me, bro, just surrender. What are you fighting, Bernie? You know, when I stopped fighting, Logan, that's when God stepped in, bro.
When you
And
finally
finally
give it
was
up,
like,
right?
yes, yes, this is, and it took a long time, bro. It took a long time. I heard a lot of people, bro. I haven't even got to that part where I about my kids or
Mm-hmm.
you know their mom, you know, or whatever. But what I want to let people know, man, is I wish someone would have told me, you know, surrender, you know,
Yeah.
like surrender and give it over to a power greater. And it's kind of like, you know, how you gonna really say that? But bro, I was desperate. I was desperate when I walked into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous.
If you already hate your life, why not give it to God, man?
Well, dude, I'll tell you, we're gonna do a part two.
For sure, man.
I I want to tell you this, Logan, bro. Towards the end of my run, bro. I love pills. I love them, bro. Like I went from Vicodin to oxys to perks to the end of my run. It was blues, bro. You know, and drinking at the same time, hoping I don't wake up. Sitting there, bro, in a fetal position, asking God, like, dude, all right, if you keep waking me up, then help me. If you keep waking me up, and then help me, because you know what? I don't want to live no more, bro. I don't. I want to isolate because they told me that, hey, Bernie, if you do it all just by yourself, bro, you're only hurting yourself. You're not hurting everybody else around you. That's a lie, bro. That's a lie because I'm not showing up for them. I'm not showing up for my kids, bro. I'm not showing up for my kids' mom. I'm not showing up for the people that I need to show up for. Why? Because I'm selfish,
For
I'm
sure, dude.
selfish, bro. 12-step program made me realize I have to give the power away. I didn't start healing, Logan, until I started being vulnerable about the trauma, about the pain, about the shit that I'm really dealing with at
Yep.
that time. You know?
I feel you.
So that's why, bro, I'm so passionate. I'm so because bro, I live this shit.
Sure, man.
I don't want you to do it no more. You know what I mean? I don't want you to sabotage your life. I don't want you to surrender. And another thing too, bro, I'll tell you right now is listen. If your sponsor tells you to do this, that, and the third, do it.
Do it.
Do it because at this point, bro,
What you
what do
think
you
is
got
gonna
to
work
lose?
is where's that led you?
Right. I'm sure my sponsor and going back, sponsorship is really because I relapsed plenty of times after that, because I wasn't working a 12-step I was a dry drunk. But I love pills, bro. But Logan, if you want to do it, because bro, I start getting in, bro. I start
We'll start.
for sure,
I
Logan, and I appreciate you, bro. And I appreciate what you got going on, especially at your age, bro.
appreciate
Because you know what? Real quick, let me tell you, Logan, what I realized, man, is that I remember I was 6 months into my recovery and someone told me, hey, Bernie, you just got sober at the best time. And at that time, bro, I was pissed off. Like, "Look, you don't know what I've been through, bro. This and
All right, everyone, before we wrap things up, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Drew Dighton with Realty Connect. Whether you're buying, selling, or even just daydreaming about your dream house, or whether you're looking for a studio, anything to do with real estate, hit up Drew. Phone number is 519-365-2309. His email is drewdighton@gmail.com. I'll throw that right above my head here, also in the description below. Yeah, he'll make that transition super easy for you. He's a super down-to-earth guy. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching.
that. To later on realizing, and I went back and I made an amends with him, bro. I did get sober at the best time. You know what I mean? Because nowadays, bro, you don't know what you're putting your hands into. You put your hands in anybody's sugar bowl, and what might be good for me might not be good for you, bro. And then next thing you know, you're laying on the floor, and I'm sitting there like, "Fuck, where's Logan?" But you get what I'm trying to say. So I'm very thankful for you, bro. Honestly,
I
what you
appreciate you
got
coming
going
on, my
on,
friend.
you could touch a lot of people's lives, bro.
I
I'm
appreciate you.
being real. I'm being real, Logan, because people need
Appreciate
to.
you.
And the more you push your stuff out, bro, because you got to put the work. God already got you in position,
Yeah,
but you just got to put the footwork, So shout out to you, Logan, and I hope to get back on with you and talk some more, bro, because
for sure, man.
men's mental health is everything, bro.
100%, bro. I just want to thank everybody for watching. Thanks for coming on, Bernie, and shout out Sober Strong. This episode should be out. I'm not sure when it'll be out, but I'll keep you guys updated. And I really look forward to part two, man. Thanks for coming on.
I appreciate you, bro.